Let's look at the diminished scale. We're going to use this diminished scale starting on C and moving up half plus whole steps. To start, we're going to relate this to a C7 flat 9 harmony, so it's important we feel and hear that in relation to our left hand. Here's our fingering map. Check out previous tutorials to learn how I get here. If you're playing the scale straight, ascending and descending, unfortunately we can't do it with 2 4-note groupings. That's just how the white and black keys are arranged. So we have to use either groupings 3, 2, 3 or 3, 3, 2. I prefer the first one. Next is practicing different finger sequences. If you watch the previous tutorials, you know that there are 24 ways to sequence your fingers without repeating a note. So let's try a few. Some will work really well, others not so much. 1, 2, 3, 4 might be a good place to start if you're not familiar with the diminished scale. 3, 4, 2, 1 is fun. Two, 3, 1, 4 is challenging and doesn't feel as good. Actually, in order to play it more comfortably descending, I adjusted my fingering to include the 5th finger, which alters the shape and note clusters under my hand. This is one way we can expand our 4-note clusters to include wider intervals. Now we have new 4-note clusters, which we can move along the keyboard, trying out different finger sequences. These ones don't have as much range of motion because of the 5th finger being used more, but it's still a lot of fun. And here's another way we can use wider intervals. Instead of the note clusters being built by step from the thumb up the scale, we can use a skip. So instead of step, 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 we can try skip, step, step, or step, skip, step. There are just so many combinations and they can get pretty complex. Like here's step, double skip, step. A 1, 2, 3, 4 finger sequence. And a 3, 4, 2, 1 finger sequence. Sometimes you'll have to adjust your fingering to accommodate these wider intervals, so instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 1, 2, 4, 5. You'll sacrifice range of motion, but you'll always have a unique set of note clusters to learn. The diminished scale is a rabbit hole of interesting shapes and hand positions. I'll likely be doing another tutorial on just the diminished scale. I'd recommend trying out 3 or 4 of these patterns. Start with a simple one with different fingering sequences, experiment with a different combination of steps and skips, and try something really complex for the challenge.